Hello, Bizarre Story friends. You've tuned into the Bizarre AF, place where we talk about the strange, the absurd, the unknown, and all things Bizarre AF. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be your host for today's episode, and as always, we ask that you keep an open mind, keep a skeptical ear, but keep listening to those facts as we take you on our newest journey. Wilkerson and Turner, Boston's biggest bribery buffoonery. Hello, my little co-hostess with the mostess, Alicia. How are you doing, girlfriend?
Oh, I am so good. As a fellow buffoon, yes. I'm doing great. I love that you use the word buffoonery. Yeah.
It's right up there with shenanigans.
Oh my gosh, it absolutely is. Great choice of words.
Thanks. Well, cheers to another episode in our Madonna Black Madonna
goblets. In goblets, yeah.
Okay.
I have like a 1960s mood ring on, and I guess I'm feeling blue or something like contemplative.
All right.
For this episode.
Okay.
Very excited.
Here we go. Have you ever heard of a woman named Diane Wilkerson?
You know what? I have not heard of Diane Wilkerson. It sounds like vaguely familiar, and I don't know if it's just because I've heard both of those names multiple times.
Sure.
But it's not very familiar at all.
Okay. Well, Diane is the first black woman to be a partner in a Boston law firm.
Okay.
And she was the first to be elected into the U.S. State Senate. First black woman, and that was in 1992.
Oh, how awful is that?
Right.
But yes. Yeah. Should have been sooner.
So, flash forward to 2007.
Yes.
And there's this thing called a public corruption department within the FBI.
Okay.
Now, first of all, I'm sorry, but if you have to have a department specifically about corruption, that's just honestly sad. Public corruption, nonetheless.
I think that probably what that signifies is that there is so much corruption.
Truly.
That you need to have an entire department, which, thank God, because I don't trust a motherfucker. I just don't trust them.
That's right. And thank God we have the department because, there's countries where you see corruption all the time and there's just nothing done about it.
They're like, oh, we're going to pull you over. You're like, for what? They're like,
because you owe us $1,000.
Yeah. And you're like, are you kidding me? Can I Venmo you? No, it needs to be cash.
Exactly.
They will start having those QR codes.
Yeah, just scan them on my back of my badge. Okay, yeah. So, and the purpose is to just do that. Find and eliminate corruption. So there was this cooperator, and a cooperator is just that, a person that has a handler in the FBI who cooperates with the FBI to do their gigs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so he's helping them with this corruption case. Mm-hmm. And he's talking to his handler, and it comes up that he and his business partner are trying to open this supper club called Deja Vu. And it's in this town of Roxbury within Boston. Okay. And so he applies for this liquor license and he was denied. I guess it's pretty hard to get a liquor license. And he just says nonchalantly to his handler, oh, well, I'm just going to call Diane to get some help. And the handler goes, well, who's Diane?
Yeah.
And the cooperator says, Diane Wilkerson. And the FBI goes, why would you have to call Diane Wilkerson? And the handler goes, oh, well, to get stuff done, you have to call her. And so, some little bells are ringing off in the FBI's head. And he goes, well, do you pay her?
Oh, see, I would have been like, she knows how to get things done.
Well,
this is why I'm not a police officer.
Right.
I'm just naive.
And he goes, well, I haven't personally paid her, but yeah, she gets paid. And so now he's really curious. And he goes, well, and then how do you know this? And he says, well, because I've seen someone else pay her. In fact, I've seen it twice. One of them was my business partner. Yeah. Actually. And I'm sure he would do it again because this liquor license is like make or break this business. So I'm sure it's going to happen again. And like this is all just kind of coming up in passing. Like this, they weren't focusing on Diane. There wasn't like a corruption case involving her. This just kind of came up in conversation, which started ringing some bells for this FBI handler. And they wouldn't have known about it had he not probed. Like if had he been you and go, ooh, well, that bitch can get some shit done and let it go, then this would have been the end of the story.
Right. If it would have been me, nothing would have happened. The corruption could have continued.
So, so then you start thinking, again, I keep going back to this whole, and as we go through the story, you'll see how I'll start getting irritated because it just makes me so mad. People, these senators, they have these double standards. They're hypocrites. They take advantage of people.
They're egomaniacs.
Yes. And I know we're stereotyping, but there's a whole department that handles these kinds of people.
Right. Well, I mean, come on, just to get into politics, you really have to be one of those people who are really kind of narcissistic. Like, this is what I can do. This is what I've been, this is what I've done in the past. This is me. Here are pictures of me. Here's my name all over the place. Like, I'm going to spend all this money, like meet all these people, shake all these hands, have people like worship me. Like, the way the system works does not allow for the best people to be like selected.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people go in with that mentality, like, I'm going to change the world and I'm going to do all the right things. And then just corruption just seeps through the cracks.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like kind of starts soaking into your body. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because you have to constantly like make money. And who knows how long you're going to be in office. You might as well milk it for all you can because that's what makes the world go round. Money.
So the FBI starts to dig on her. And they find out this woman's got quite the checkered past.
Oh, okay.
So she had a 1997 federal tax conviction for failing to file 4 federal tax returns.
Are you serious?
Yes. And at the time, she was in her 3rd term as senator. And she practiced law on the side that she did not report income from.
Oh, my gosh.
And the government is saying, they probably lost maybe about 55 grand
in taxes?
In taxes that she owes.
And that was in 97, which is like a lot more today.
Yeah, and these tax returns were 91 through 94. So she had...
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so her comment to the press on this was, this is a personal tax matter. I respect the legal process, and for this reason, I'm unable to elaborate. I will not resign.
Okay, girl. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with that statement. You are a public servant. When you say, this is a private matter, bitch, it is not a private matter. We are paying you, okay? Yes. You're getting all of these, like, benefits.
That's right.
You are, forever, like, okay, you know what pisses me off about this? These motherfuckers can serve 2 years. 2 years. They're taking care of the rest of their life. How many people who are, trying to make ends meet, like, working multiple jobs, don't get taken care of? They probably work way harder and make pennies, if that.
No doubt.
And they're not taken care of. But these corrupt fucking egomaniacs can sit here and make so much money.
Yes.
And then say, no, this is a private matter. I know I'm a public servant, but like, you just don't get it.
You
it's
don't
like,
understand.
Fuck you, Diane.
Exactly.
Okay? Like, no. You are going to have a retirement plan from the United States government.
Yeah, they get health care.
Yeah, best health care too. Like, fuck off, Diane. Fucking show us your 3 or 4 years of fucking back taxes,
Makes
you
me
bitch.
mad. Makes me so angry. Office campaign of political finance in Boston had multiple cases on her every 2 years. Like they would do this cycle of investigations. Like that was kind of their cycle, I guess, every 2 years. And every 2 years something would come up on her.
They just have like their actual files like so thick just on Diane. They're like, oh,
yeah,
we're running Diane. Everyone has to stay up late this week.
Isn't that sad?
So sad. So sad.
One of them she was fined $2,400 for some other campaign finance violation. So she's not paying taxes. She's doing campaign violations.
What is she doing? Just making money.
Yeah, it's gonna get real twisted. Check this out.
Okay.
And so then she only paid half of the fine. So then when it came up for the second year review, she came up again because she didn't pay the first time. And so now she's in violation again.
From the first time this time.
Yeah, exactly. So she keeps getting in these legal issues. They keep getting pushed away probably because she's a senator and you know how they get special treatment.
Totally.
So what just drives me nuts is that she's got these federal charges. I mean, they're federal charges. Yeah. How can you get to stay in this position? If you are a normal citizen, your company would fire you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's go to the fact that like, hey, if you want to skirt one by the man, I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. Totally get that. Like, I mean, I'm not cool with it. IRS, don't come at me. But like, hey, I get it. You know, trying to make ends meet, kind of anarchy.
Anarchist?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anarchistic?
I don't fucking know.
I know what you're saying.
Anyway, but like I understand that, and like part of me is like I wish I could be like that, but I'm too much of a rule follower. Uh-huh. But you're working for the man, the ultimate man, the United States government. You are going to be questioned by the man's bitch, which is the IRS.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but fucking be smarter. Like hire a goddamn accountant that is worth their weight in gold so you can hide all your money like everyone else does.
Oh my God. So you can be a good criminal.
Be an intelligent criminal. Fuck.
So she does a lot for the minority community. So
that's the thing.
Yes. And so she's this very strong, powerful black woman who's doing all of this good. I mean, if you look, she's doing good things for their community.
Yeah. So like,
but is it under the guise of hiding what I'm really wanting to do? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like what my therapist says. It can be both things. It can, like, both things can simultaneously exist and can be true. Like, you can we're human, and so we are flawed and crazy, weird. That's why we live in a bizarre AF world. It's because it's run by humans. Yeah. But, like, you can have these like goals and want to help your community and do great things for it, but then also be evading taxes and not paying taxes and being a total criminal and like taking money. I'm sure there's some kind of justification. Do the means justify the ends? Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Yep, you'll be the judge of that.
That's interesting.
So her platform was very, very heavy on race disparities for the African community. So she was very much appreciated and loved by this community. Had lots and lots of support. And like I said, helping the people, but at the same time helping herself. So, if you are someone who's getting direct help from her in some form or fashion, then you can very easily, if someone calls her out for something, it's very easy for you to call it a lie or to call it like, not a big deal or, whatever, right? So the agent asked this cooperator on the other corruption case, he says, I want you to set up a meeting with Diane. And we're going to see if she will actually accept a bribe. So he was very hesitant at first, right? Because he's a cooperator, but at the the same time, he's trying to get a business going, and he doesn't want to burn bridges, and so he's kind of hesitant.
He's like backed into a corner by the government,
and he's like, "Look,
FBI.
she is like the highest-ranking African American person in our community. She is a state senator. She's the only person that's getting anything done for us. Like, I don't necessarily want to do this."
Sure.
And so the handler, he tells this guy, he goes, "Well, look, think about it this way. If she really the best person, if she's really the best person, like, isn't that the problem? Like, if this corrupt person is really the best problem, like, isn't that the best solution? Isn't that the problem? I mean, she's corrupt, and if she can do good things for you and the community and all of that, then she can just as easily do bad things against you too. That won't."
It's a solid point, but also, it's so hard to get to a position like that, especially since she's the first Black woman to do so.
I know.
Like, in 92. Like, that's insane. I would feel the same way as this guy. Like, what do I do? What do I choose? Like, how do I... Yeah. I mean, that's a hard one.
Well, the handler actually finally talked him into doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he says, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do." So he does it. So this is end of May, 2007. And the cooperator reaches out to Wilkerson to set up a meeting. And because they had dealings in the past, right? Because with this whole, he's a businessman.
Right.
He's trying to get his bar
business,
and blah, 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 blah. So she accepts this meeting. And so he meets her to get this liquor license. This is the point of the meeting, is to give me the liquor license.
Yes. Okay. So, and from I know that, this is not planned or whatever, but I used to work I still kind of do work in the real estate industry, commercial. And, to get a liquor license, it's very hard. It's very expensive, and it is time. Like the amount of time, at least in the state of Colorado, like, to get a liquor license, it can be months, just depending on how backed up they are. And then, like, I don't know,
if there's even one available.
If there's one available, $25,000+.
Easy.
Easy. And you're trying to start out a business, like, that's just for the liquor license. That does not include any other costs.
That's right.
So I can say, like, fuck, like, I kind of get that. Like, if she's like, "Hey, this other one, let me," it's a great excuse, and it would be a great reason to meet up with someone.
Exactly. So if she doesn't take the money, then they don't have a case. So that's what the FBI wants to see, is if she's going to take this money. And in the first meeting, the cooperator hands her $500, and she takes it, kind of on the sly. She kind of and it's all on video. You can see it on video.
Oh my God.
Because he's wearing a camera.
Okay.
And so she takes the $500. And she looks at it, and she's like very disappointed with the amount of money in her hand.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She's like, "This is a paltry."
What is this? And so he recovers. Hey, no. No, there's much more where that came from.
This is just hey, girl.
Let's just kind of wet the whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, we're just going to meet up again. This is just to let you know I'm serious. I got you, girl. I got you. So since she takes the money, the corruption case starts. They're like, all right, well, she's already been bribed. So they could arrest her. So weak and flimsy, probably be out in a day, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep this thing going.
Yep.
So now it's June, next month. He meets her again. Of course, that same corruption squad is listening, and they're watching. And they have undercovers in the restaurant nearby. The whole bit you can imagine. Mm-hmm. And she says, "I'm gonna get you the things are in progress. I'm gonna get you the license." And he says, "Perfect." And he hands her $1,000.
Okay, 1,000. So now at this point, it's $1,500 that she's gotten.
So she holds it for a second, and you can see this on tape. She reaches up her bottom of her shirt and stuffs it in her bra.
Shut up right there.
Right there.
The brazenness. So dumb. Like
why would you do that, first of all?
Like that is just like some seedy ass behavior.
That's seedy behavior.
Come on, Diane. Right. What the fuck?
Sus. So they do this again a week later, right? Because they're trying to keep things going. He said he's going to take care of her. This time he hands her $2,000.
Okay, 2 weeks later, $2,000.
And again, she reaches up her shirt and stuffs it in her bra. All on tape. So she's now calling the mayor. She's calling the president of the city council. She's called the joint chief of licensing for the alcohol. And in Boston, these liquor licenses typically range between $200,000 and $300,000.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Especially if they're rare, or like sometimes liquor license you can buy just the liquor. Sometimes they're cheaper ones you can, as long as you serve food with them, they're a little cheaper. Blah blah blah.
Like just beer and wine.
Beer and wine. Yeah. Well, these particular ones were just liquor and $200,000 to $300,000.
Holy shit!
But they had this thing called a special liquor license.
Okay.
And the purpose of the special liquor license was for disadvantaged areas, to help them get these licenses that they might not otherwise be able to have access to or afford.
So like in bars that like have like poor neighborhoods or something, or like owners
trying to get owners
Yeah.
trying to get things. Yes, exactly.
That makes sense. That's a nice thing to do.
And you were able to get a liquor license for $2,900 plus $1 a seat. So I'm guessing that means like if you had a $300 person capacity, it was gonna be $2,900 plus $300.
Oh, okay.
So very, very cheap.
Yeah, a lot less.
But they didn't have any more of those. Those were out. And so what she eventually did was she pushed and she poked and she prodded and got the Senate and the House and Boston License Authority and City Council all in this great big meeting. And they agreed that Boston would sponsor what they called this thing called a home rule petition to get 40 of these special liquor licenses for alcohol for the city.
Oh my gosh.
It's like 30 like beer and wine. But Diane was going to get 4 of them for her area. Because she was doing such a good job and helping the communities and getting this all going. So she was going to be able to get 4.
Which he was in her jurisdiction.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so she says, I'm going to call Chuck Turner and have him hold a public hearing about why there aren't more minority liquor license. And I'm just going to make a really big stink about it and put it in the press and just make, this big deal. And again, this is what pisses me off, is that minorities or disadvantaged people or any group of people who are taking advantage of their minorityism or whatever for their own gain. Hate it. Now, again, like you said, your therapist said, two things can be true. And yes.
See, I think, yes, what?
She's making these lies. She's making a big stink that there's not enough liquor licenses in here. But the point of the matter is she was a greedy biatch. And she wanted money. It's the only reason she was doing it.
I mean, yes, but yes, and no, but also what I'm wondering is, like, we were talking about, do the ends justify the means? And if that means that actual people, like her giving it to this guy who's already paid her like 20. I mean, honestly, at this point, he's paid her $3,500 and she's already starting to get more liquor licenses versus him paying $300,000 for a normal one. Like he would potentially, I don't know how much more he's going to pay, but he's still like making.
Oh, it's helping him.
It's helping him.
It's helping the community.
I mean, it is.
But it's going in her effing pocket.
Well, I mean, yeah, because, okay, so this is what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, well, then you'll have other people who can do it, who need it. But no, fucking Diane is going to be like.
No, she's going to pocket it. Yeah.
Girl,
you want a
give
license,
me the money, make it rain. Yes. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, it's irritating. So Chuck Turner is a city councilor.
Yes.
And he was in her district and had a reputation for being very abrasive, very outspoken, and again, very much about how being a minority and being abused is the wrong word, but
taken advantage of?
Maybe perhaps taken advantage of, not being treated equally, et cetera, et cetera. And so he too was African American and very quick to get things done by calling out race disparities.
Yeah.
And about being harassed by the police. And if you watch his videos, it's always that.
Well, yeah, they always have their fucking talking. You know what? Here's the thing about all these motherfuckers. They have like their 3 things that they say every single time.
Every single one of them. Yeah, and regardless of who you are. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like always something to get them on the same page as the normal man, right?
Yes.
Or the normal person. Like, look, I'm just like you. I've gone through this and this strife and I had this happen to me.
Yes.
Or my family were farmers and I know how it is to work hard like another American. It's the same fucking shit.
Yes.
But they're the same like egomaniacs.
Exactly. It doesn't matter
what you're saying,
what you are, who you are, color of your skin. They all do it.
Yes.
In some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And so his community, like Diane's, they loved both of them very, very much because they were calling out all the things that their community was upset about. They were helping them,
moving things
along,
make things
regardless
happen.
of how they did it, and not in the best way, in my opinion. But they were making things happen.
Sure.
Okay. So Diane tells the cooperator, which she doesn't know is a cooperator, to go meet with Chuck too. And tells him what he needs. And so he does. And this is also on tape. And he reaches out to Chuck's hand. And he goes, I want to thank you very much. Please let me shake your hand. And he shakes his hand and he palms him $500. And now any person with any morals, I'm going to say it. Any person with any morals not expecting money to be palmed into their hands.
Yeah.
If you were to do that to me, I would look at my hands and go, what is this?
Yeah.
What? I don't want that.
I don't need that. What is this for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He shakes his hand, feels the money. You can see him just kind of grab it, keeps looking, and just sticks it right in his pocket.
So smooth. Like he's done it before.
Smooth, like he knew what was coming.
Yep. Interesting.
Disgusting. So now the FBI has 2 people taking bribes.
Oh my God. The first 2 people they investigate, both of them are.
Yeah, right? And so shortly after this whole meeting, the cooperator comes into the FBI. He flops the recording device on the table and he says, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And if you want me to do it, now you're going to start paying my rent.
Damn straight. Damn straight. I'll fucking tell you what. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, is this guy just doing this out of the goodness of his heart? He needs to be getting paid. Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't you want to be like a good human being to society and contribute to the benefit of...
Sure. But guess what? I have bills.
Mama got bills.
I have bills that I need to pay. I don't come from fucking money. Here's my fucking.
Yeah, but you're working. You're an entrepreneur. You're creating businesses.
No, you're not. You're not. He was like, because he was starting a business, he's like, I don't necessarily have the money. It doesn't strike me as someone who is like, has a shitload of funds.
Right.
Or else why would he go and cooperate with the fucking FBI? Because all these people are fucked up and frauds.
Yeah, well,
right?
truly,
So-
you're in bed with these people. You can't be that great.
And here's another thing. Here's a lesson for anyone listening. Ask. Just ask for it. It might seem really stupid or like you're not going to get it, but ask for it because you might be surprised. That's like something I've been learning recently. Like, oh yeah, this is what I need and I get it. So this guy is needing to have his bills paid. He's putting in some fucking time and work for the FBI. You know, like they should be getting paid. Honestly, like that's to do that whole acting. It's an acting. He's a paid actor. Okay.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
You get yourself some. Okay. Thank you very much.
So FBI figures, well, they're going to introduce an undercover into the case, into this mix. Yes. Okay. So they're going to bring an FBI undercover in.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And once they do that, they're not going to need the cooperator anymore because now they've got their in.
Right.
So they...
Okay, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did they pay the cooperator?
They never paid the cooperator.
Fuck them. I'm sorry. I am on the cooperator's fucking side.
Are you?
What do you think?
Well,
Kevin.
Honestly, I'm trying to be open-minded here, but like
this is like over a month of working with the FBI. Think of the meetings and like the briefings that you're having.
But for me,
that's
I'm bringing the man down. Like that's enough for me. I'm taking those corrupt biatches away.
But here's the thing. Let's say you're starting a business and you don't have very much money and you're like, okay, at first you're like, yes. But then you're like, well, why don't I just get paid while I do this anyways? Because then I can take down the bad guy and make sure that my rent's paid. You know?
Like you said, it doesn't hurt to ask. You go, look, I need some cash.
Sprinkle.
Sure. And if they say no, then at least you've asked. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Kevin's like, nope, I'm just a moral person. I'm like, no, ask for money. We are not rich people, okay?
So they say to Diane and
good old
Chucky that this new FBI guy is the nephew of the cooperator.
Oh,
and he's going to take over getting the liquor license now.
Okay.
He's now going to be responsible because cooperator's got other things, more important things to do in the business. And so they set up another meeting with Wilkerson to introduce I'm air quoting, nephew.
Right.
This time, it's the fifth bribe. And it's coming directly from an FBI agent.
Oh.
This time it's $3,000.
They don't give our cooperator any money. They're like, here's $500 twice, and like $1,000. But here we go. Here's $3,000 from the FBI agent. Mm-hmm. That's so funny.
So now we're up to $6,500 for Diane.
So yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Diane has really made it out. Chucky's only made $500 so far.
At this point, he's only made $500. Yep.
$6,500, you said?
Yep.
Golly.
So they introduce yet another FBI undercover guy. And this guy's introduced as an out-of-state business developer. And so he pays her another $2,000 to keep that liquor license thing going. Because they're gonna also need this for one of his businesses.
Oh, okay.
So remember, because she's got 4.
Right.
And so during one of the meetings with the new undercover, Wilkerson pitches a new scheme. She mentions this thing called Parcel 8.
Okay.
Well, Parcel 8 is a state-owned piece of property.
Oh.
And she kept talking about this thing called direct designation.
Okay.
And this particular piece of land was very valuable.
Yeah, especially like in that area.
It was in the perfect area. It was a great parcel. And she says she could directly designate it to this developer through a piece of legislation so that it wouldn't have to be put out for a bid. Like she could just directly designate this parcel. And so he's like, keep in mind, it's the FBI. He's like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do this thing. So a month later, he gives her another $7,000.
Oh my God.
So now we're up to like 13.5 for little Diane. She hasn't delivered anything at this point, by the way.
Oh yeah, she's just okay. Actually, she kind of has because she's gotten that legislation passed. She's had legislation passed.
That's right. She's got 4 licenses,
and she has 4 licenses.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Bring on the highest bidder.
Yeah. So the FBI ups the antes, and they suggest yet another meeting with yet another interested investor, air quoting here, in the state of Georgia.
FBI.
They're really trying to amp this up, and they're like, oh, yeah, so you're going to be all dirty? We got all the people you need, girlfriend. We're going to be rich. And so they arranged this whole thing in Atlanta. And they're going to roll out this whole scenario. And there's going to be like 12 undercover cops in this hotel. They send her a plane ticket. I mean, they've got this whole thing set up where it's going to be this investor with all this money, and he just needs her help. And, you know, she's going to be like rich.
Yeah.
She never shows up.
She fucking smelled it.
She lost the primary. Oh. The primary was happening. She lost the primary. So she's in the fight of her life to stay in the office because now she's going to lose her meal ticket.
Yeah.
So she didn't go. She was focused on this primary thing. So she's doing this thing, what they call a sticker campaign. And I guess that's kind of like a write-in.
Oh, yeah.
It has something to do with write-in. And so... And she's hoping, so she's hoping that she had to do it that way for some reason. I don't know politics, but that's what she had to do.
She didn't win her
campaign.
her party's
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So she's not on the ballot.
Right. So she's focusing in all on that. So
honestly, that's fucking hilarious.
So the developer, I'm recording guy, says to her, oh no, she says, sorry, that's right. She says to this developer, she goes like, I'm in the fight of my life here.
Yeah. I might lose my seat.
I'm going to lose my seat. You got to give me $10,000.
Because you're my friend. I'm not going to do anything for you. But I mean, she makes a good point. Like, hey, look, if
I'm not here,
then I can't do anything.
I can't do anything.
So you need to help.
It's in your best interest to give me money.
Yeah, totally.
So
10,000. So she straight up asked
10. Yep, straight up asked for 10 grand, and he gives her 10 grand.
Oh my gosh, Diane.
He says, but if I do this, I need that parcel 8.
Oh, okay.
If I give you this 10 grand, you need to direct designate me that parcel 8.
Yeah. You're desperate. I'm desperate.
Exactly. And so she says, yes, I will do that. I will do that. This is all on tape, by the way.
He's like, here's the 10,000. She's like, let me stuff it up my bra. She has like these huge boobs. She's like, no. I'm just swollen or something. It's a lymph issue. Oh,
so they meet in this little sandwich shop. He gives her the $10,000. And she shows him the filing where she does that direct designation to the land.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's keeping her word. He's giving her the cash. So now it is like there is no question. Diane be corrupt.
Diane is like corruptible.
Corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've heard bribing a state senator. That's what happened.
Yeah. No, she's...
I mean, it sounds awful, and it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened here. So now she's at what, like 23.5.
Yeah.
So there's this election coming up. They decide to move on with this before the election.
Yeah, of course, because if she doesn't have any, they can't continue.
So they surveil her. And in October, they're waiting outside of her house to nab her. They're gonna grab her. So she comes out and they rush in. And she's like very surprised.
Sure.
Like, what's happening, right? And so they put the cuff on her. They take her back into her house. And they start the search. And she says, "What is this about?"
Uh-oh.
And the FBI agent says, "Well, let me just give you a name. You know the name."
Oh, smart. I was wondering if this would happen.
And she gives her the name of the second undercover guy, that the developer, the one with the parcel 8. And she goes, "Yeah." And the FBI says, "He's an FBI agent." And the FBI said in their report, they go, you could see like her eyes kind of get a little bit bigger, and you could just see the wheels spinning like, what did I say? What did I do? Where were we? What happened?
How much money did I take?
How much did I take? Exactly. And so the FBI goes, "So we want to talk to you about that." And she says, "Oh yeah, I'd be happy to talk to you about that just as soon as I talk to my lawyer."
Yes.
So that ended that conversation.
Uh-huh.
She was arrested, taken to jail. Evidence response teams are simultaneously searching her office.
Of course.
Also her campaign office and her home, like all 3 places at the
Every
same time.
place that she would potentially have
exactly.
information.
They are also at City Hall at that exact same moment going to talk to Chuck Turner.
Chucky, come on.
And they ask him, "Do you know the cooperating witness? Did he ever pay you any money?" Mm-hmm. And they were all absolutely very pointed, direct questions. And then they also, that was the other thing. They go, we know the guy we're talking about, the one that slipped you $500, that guy. Because remember he did that little
the handshake
thing. And he blatantly flat out lies. He goes, "I have never in my life taken money from anyone."
Oh yeah, I mean that's a total lie. I was thinking he blatantly lied about saying, "I don't remember who he was because I've done it so many times."
And this is all being videotaped. And he says,
"Sure.
Quote, I didn't take any money from any other developer or any other person. I don't need people's money to do my job." Okay. Well, we never said the word developer, but okay. That's fine.
Okay, sure. You gave us extra, be as broad as you possibly can.
Yeah, right.
If you're caught in a lie, don't be super
don't
specific. That's how you know.
So about 2 weeks later, they decide to arrest him, and about 6 FBI agents walk into his office, and he has his feet up on his desk, and he's on the phone, like a typical JR bigwig.
Yes.
And he looks over, and he can clearly see it's the FBI. They got those blue jackets with the huge yellow letters on it, FBI, right? And so he just keeps talking on the phone, looks away, ignores him, just keep talking on his phone. And they're just kind of looking at each other, and they let him finish his call. But he's being very disrespectful, very flippant to the FBI, very flippant. And so, they're saying, you're going to get arrested right now. We're going to put the cuffs on you. And since you're being so flippant, you're going to get a perp walk.
Oh, great. So perp walk is...
Yeah, so perp walk is they're going to make sure everyone sees that you are in handcuffs. Yes. They're going to walk you through the office.
The front doors.
Right through the front door. Yeah, everybody and their mother can see.
Yeah, so perp walk, like if they're doing that is to embarrass you and to try to create some drama.
Yeah.
If you cooperate and you go through, they'll be like, okay, well, we'll bring you through the back door.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put a jacket over your hands and make it less obvious.
Yeah.
So there's people outside because they find out what's going on. I'm not sure how this occurs, but there's like people, like protesters and stuff, and they're holding signs and it says, "We stand by Turner," and what's his crime? He fights for the people. And Chuck, you need to investigate the FBI. F the FBI. They're the liars. We've all seen it before.
Sure. He has his cronies.
They're heckling the FBI. They're calling the FBI racial cleansers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's going off the rails. So Chuck Turner gets expelled from Boston City Council, sentenced to 3 years in prison, serves 2.
Of course.
And he was convicted of bribery, $500. Lying to
Only
the FBI,
500?
got it on tape.
I mean, like the fact that all he made was 500 and it ended up.
They know he did before.
Yeah,
they just don't have the proof, right? And so he tells the media that he was in jail because of political persecution, and that he was among the nation's most respected civil rights leaders, just like Rosa Parks.
Oh my God, Chucky, no.
On tape.
Chucky. What are you thinking?
So the FBI responds with, "Well, we particularly took great offense with Mr. Turner's representations that he should be compared to some national greatest civil rights heroes such as Rosa Parks. Mr. Turner is no Rosa Parks. He is a convicted felon who took a bribe and then compounded that offense by lying about it repeatedly."
And here are our receipts. Check out
Yes,
Chucky.
Exactly.
Chucky taking the bribe.
So the bottom. So then Diane.
Yeah, good old Diane.
All she cares about is herself. So she's getting a lot of pressure. All of this crap that she did is on tape. We got like tens of thousands of dollars recorded of her taking money. So she's like, okay, I think I'm gonna need to resign from the Senate.
Yes, I mean. Girl,
make it a spectacle.
I think your time is up. The jig is up. Hopefully you invested it.
She pleads guilty to 8 counts of extortion, sentenced to 3.5 years.
No, yeah.
Which I don't know.
3.5 years for
federal prison for bribery. 3.5 years. I don't know. Last year, Alicia. What year is this?
It's 2023.
Last year, she announced she's running for senator again.
Girl. Diane.
The balls.
Hey, Diane, if you want to come on our podcast.
Do you want to get some hype on your campaign?
Yeah. Come over. Mm-hmm. We'll talk. Mm-hmm. We'll bring this stuff up, but also.
We just want to hear your campaign.
We want to hear what you are talking about, Diane.
We do. We won't even, we'll just highlight this discussion.
Yeah.
Just like a quick bloop.
Promise we won't bring it up.
We won't.
Slip us $500.
We don't have any cameras under the table.
Yeah, not under the table, just above them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty clear. Diane, you're running for office, Diane.
Diane.
What are you thinking?
And this, you know what? This goes out to all politicians.
Yes.
Stop.
Just stop.
You're being held to a higher standard.
You should be.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You should be held to a higher standard. Stop the buffoonery.
You guys are straight up fucking buffoons. I get it. I'm a buffoon too, but you guys are the real OG buffoons. Here's another thing I was thinking of. while you're telling me all this stuff that like Diane was making happen, where she's like, okay, let's like get the special counsel together. Let's do this. Here's another way to do it. Like you almost kind of have to have that scheming, thought process to get so far in politics, right?
You do. And I don't look down upon that at all, because that's just the way you get shit done.
Yes, you have to.
Yes.
And you have to be able to bring people in and like use them and have them use you and be okay with that and not be offended.
But to do it, to get a buck in your pocket,
but that's
F you.
Agreed. Totally agreed. But here's the thing. That kind of a personality is just going to do it no matter what.
See, that's the other thing too, because I feel like
Self-serving.
people go in, and again, we're generalizing, but I feel like people go in with all the best intentions. Not all of them. Some go in shitheads right off the start.
Yeah.
But I feel like some go in with all the best intentions, and they are corruptible.
Yes.
And because it's so corrupted, you get infected by that very easily. And sometimes probably they feel like they have no other choice. But I will say you always have a choice.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes. Yes.
To do the right thing, even when no one's looking.
I do. Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's very true. Do we get the buffoonery? Yes. But if we want the world to like move forward, if we want to rise above all the bullshit and like the toxic stuff that's going on, we have to do the right thing when no one's looking.
Yep.
Like it really,
Yes.
that is really what matters.
Everyone has to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going to do a Kevin's tangent. I was going to close on a Kevin's tangent.
Oh my God.
Do you think I should, or should I just call it a day?
Wind it up.
You think?
Let's hear it, Kevin. Yes.
I think I need to make a little jingle, like Kevin's tangent or something like that.
That's it. That's the jingle.
Okay. Here's my tangent.
Yes.
If you don't have checks and balances, I don't think you can honestly trust public officials. And if you can't trust public officials, society will spiral. They are, and they should be held to higher standards, and they take an oath. And senators are public officials. They have to be held to higher standards. So when you hear all these news reports about senators and public officials, and they're complaining about how corrupt the FBI is, I mean, really think about the source of the complaint and the reason for that complaint. I mean, it's really easy for them to say, oh, I'm being persecuted because of my race, or I'm being persecuted because of my, sexual orientation or my political party. But why is it? Because generally speaking, it seems to be a constant few who say that repeatedly. And if that was the case, then the FBI would be making up fake allegations for all of the senators in all of the parties that they didn't like. And it would also be said that the Supreme Court is too corrupt and untrustworthy to perform their duties without bias. And it's quite clear that they are when opinions are drawn down political lines. But, wait, I kind of tangent there. Sorry. I digress. If the FBI says you've broken the law, then I think you need to trust me when I say you've broken the law.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just make it up. And if by chance, let's just say by chance they have or they do, then you can also trust me that it will and would come to light.
Yeah.
Too much scrutiny, too much public eyes on these types of things with these types of people. And just because you say something is the other thing, doesn't make it true.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very true.
So, again, boils down to just be a good human being, have morals, have respect for each other, and just always do the right thing even when no one's looking. And if everybody did that, it would just be peachy.
End scene.
And scene. So that's my corruption story. I'm thinking I might do a series of like pink collar crimes or something.
Pink collar?
Uh-huh.
What's pink collar?
Pink collar is like, it doesn't have to be women's crimes, but it's typically, well, it is non-violent, very kind of unaggressive, unassuming crimes that people do.
Can we wear pink? Okay.
Yes. So this is kind of like in a pink collar crime.
Yeah.
I kind of call it. So
I love it.
okay, so more of these to come, maybe.
Yes. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
sharing.
Sure.
And it's really important.
Sorry, don't vote for Diane.
Yeah, Diane, girl.
Sorry, girl. Can't do it.
I mean, like, we need to just have a monitor on you at all times.
Exactly.
If you are taking money, give it to a charity.
Right.
Give it to children who need fucking school supplies or something. Like,
Yes, exactly. Because you can be a criminal and a savior.
Yeah.
Both things can be true.
Okay, Robin Hood, hello.
Exactly.
Stole from the rich, gave to the poor. That's what you could do, Diane. That should be like your motto.
Oh, that's some good motto.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.